Welcome to another Zincast, and it is March 11th, and we still have winter weather to talk about. Yeah, okay? Because that's what March is like, right? It's like when your dad or your mom was mad at you back in the day, and they'd be in your bedroom, they'd be yelling at you, and then they'd walk out, and you think, oh, it's over. And then also they walk right back in, and they give it to you some more, and then they walk out, and then they walk back in. Yeah. That's winter in March, right? That's spring and winter in March. It just keeps coming and going. So that's what we have to deal with. But it is March. So specifically in the coastal areas, it really takes heavy snowfall to accumulate. Let's go back to Wednesday, okay? Wednesday, it snowed practically all day. But unless it was falling at a heavy clip, it was melting when it was hitting the ground. It even had a hard time accumulating on the colder surfaces like grass. I ended up with an inch on grass. Funny part is my wife works maybe 10 miles away, 8 miles away, and it was actually east, 8 miles east. And when she came home from work, her car had like 3 inches on it. So it was pretty interesting. And she said, she was like, we had a lot more snow on the ground over there. And I was like, yeah, it was snowing, just wasn't sticking, wasn't accumulating. And that's type of weather I think we're gonna have here again with this storm system. Now this is a lot more impressive of a storm system. So let's just take a look at the GFS. This is a 6Z GFS, might as well, right? And the one thing I want to show is as this energy wraps in the let's see, do I have my drawing tool on and a good color? No, let's put it on a good color. All right. As this trough comes through, okay, you'll see that it is a, and I drew that in the wrong spot, but yeah, it's a positive tilted trough, okay? So this is a very progressive storm. Okay, there's no blocking set up. There's nothing to slow this down. So it books, and it books quickly. And the thing is, the reason why the interior, when I say interior, I'm talking about like the higher elevations, Catskills, so on. They are going to get some snow out of this. I think it's going to be about a 4 to 8. Depending on how much can actually accumulate. You want to talk about accumulating snow? I think it's about 4 to 8. For, again, the Catskill region, places in the higher elevation. So actually, let's go ahead. Let's go to the GFS. Let's go to the surface map. Might as well. So you see and let's change the color again because this has more blues, and the blue will get washed out. So you see where the surface low is setting up, and you clearly see a cold frontier that it is riding along, and it's going to be booking, like I said. So this is 1 a.m. tonight, okay? So this is 1 a.m. tonight. Now this is 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, March 12th, okay? And you can see on the GFS where the front is setting up, obviously. Okay, you see the low pressure system, and now it's down to 990, so it's a strengthening low pressure system. You obviously have warm air coming in front of it, but that's colliding with the cold air, which then produces some heavier snows in these areas, okay? But you can see that as we get to 1 p.m., that storm, you saw it booked, right? Went like from there to there in not too many hours, right? By 1 p.m., the storm is now, we're on the back end of the storm, okay? So the winds are coming in like this, so you get colder air coming in, and things start changing over to snow, and according to the GFS, it even gets some pretty heavy snow rates coming in here. And then the storm is gone. Look, by 7 p.m., it is out of here. Look where it is, okay? It is totally gone. So this is really, really quick hitter, but it is actually one that's in the afternoon. So say, between 7 a.m. and, again, you start off as rain, okay? Okay, starting off as rain, and specifically, let's talk about New York City. Okay, New York City and just north and west, Bergen County, Rockland County, Westchester. Starting off as rain, and where you're gonna get some mixing, I think north and west is where it starts mixing over, and by afternoon you're gonna see some flakes in there. Now, how much flakes? Well, this was the GFS. Okay, and it did. Let's go back. You do see it starts off as rain. Okay. And then the cold air does come in behind it, and things change over, and then the storm is gone. And by the way, very cold and blustery behind that, wind chills, feels like true winter. So let's go ahead and see what the Euro is showing. Okay, and we'll zoom in on this one. Timing is all the same. Okay, so this is 7 a.m. in the morning. So clearly you see that the air is warm enough for rain and mix. You can even see that warm air is even all the way back into these places, right? Okay, so you get some mix, and then again, behind it, cold air comes in. There's still moisture, and you get some snow, and it goes through. Now, the European is actually not as the European feels colder, but it's also, I mean, the speed is about the same. Okay, so this is, by 7 p.m. it's gone again. Speed is about the same, but it's a little bit weaker in the system, so it doesn't pull in higher snowfall rates. So now let's go over to the NAM. Okay, and bring up the NAM because this is the warmest model. Now, here we are at around 7 a.m., 7 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., so it's starting a little bit earlier on the NAM. And you see that it is fairly rainy mess down in this area, right? For much of the storm, that's 11. So by noon, that's when you get some changeover finally happening in the northern suburbs, just north and west of New York City. And then by 1 p.m., but 4 p.m., and it's pretty much out of here. Okay, so timing's about the same, but NAM's a little bit warmer in the solution. So what does this all mean, Chris? Well, what it means is tomorrow morning, you're going to see rain, and then you're going to see some snow. And how much snow? Well, let's go. Let's say New York City, right? It's going to be 50 degrees today. Okay, in the 50s. Let's rephrase that. It's going to be in the 50s today. So again, the ground's going to be warm. You have the rain coming in, and then you got snow coming in after that. It's going to be hard to accumulate on the warmer surfaces. So if you're looking for accumulating snow, it's going to be on the colder surfaces, right? Grass, your decks, maybe some cars that have been out for quite some time, right? So those are the places you're going to see some accumulation. How much? All right, New York City, I'm doing the same as last storm on Wednesday, okay? I had you guys trace. I was like, maybe you could see an inch or two, right? On the cold surfaces. Same, okay? I'm going the same there. North and west of that. Again, I like, I'm still going to start at a trace. Because, I got an inch, but it was barely on Wednesday. Again, it snowed all day, but... So... With that in mind, I'm going with the trace, but I could see it. Hey, if the GFS solution does actually work out, or it does end in a little bit of a heavy burst, you get 2 to 3 hours of actually accumulating snow. I could see a trace to 4 inches. Okay, so just north and west of New York City, trace to 4 inches. Further north, okay, that's where I'm liking the 4 to 8. Specifically, once you get some elevation, that's where you're going to get have colder temperatures, and you're going to get, I could see the low end 4 again if it has a hard time accumulating, sun angle and all that, you could be at 4, but I could see you popping off as much as 8, and 6 to 10. I don't really think 6 to 10 is anywhere in there, but maybe a lollipop somewhere. Okay, maybe in the highest elevations in the mountains. Might be a good call, but I'm like in the lower end of that number. It just, again, it's moving way too fast. it's March. You got March sun. You got March warmth ahead of it. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not making a snow map. I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy today. So there it is. That's the forecast. If you missed it, just rewind and you could play it again. So now, like and subscribe, right? Put some comments, ring the notification bell, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe this will be the final winter storm threat that we have. Obviously, there'll be other storm threats, but I think maybe this will be the one. It's March 11th. We'll see. You never know. You can always sneak something in somewhere. Yeah. So, like and subscribe, like I said, and leave some comments. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. And guys, remember, these models that I'm just showing off here, they don't make the weather. The weather makes the weather, and they definitely don't take in consideration, that it's going to be in the 50s today and sun angle and all that when they pump out snowfall maps. So that's why I don't show these snowfall maps, okay? But I did give you what I think it is. So one more time, just to go over it. Trace maybe a couple inches in New York City if you're lucky, okay? You're definitely going to see some flakes, but I don't think it's going to accumulate too much. Just north and west, sticking with that trace, okay? Trace, 4 max if you're lucky again. North and west of that, 4 to 8, maybe some lollipops, 6 and 10s in the most highest elevations, but I'm liking the lower end of that, close to the 6, which would fall right into the 4 to 8. So there you go, right? All right. Have a good one, everyone.